If you're not paying close attention to what's happening in cities like Chicago or New York City when it comes to the migrant crisis, you're making a huge mistake because they're furious.
They are pissed, is what she wants to say. All right, so I just now came across this one video, and this is from Young Turks. This is from Young Turks. And shout out to Young Turks. The Young Turks are not big fans of Donald Trump. They're not. Occasionally, they put out some real down the middle type of content that's really dope. And I would love for us to check it out together. And the title of this one is, a poll was taken. And it seems like Black and Hispanic support for Democrats has plummeted. So feel free to check this out with me. And they call them the Young Wokes. Hey, whatever they're called, man, I don't know them all like that, but I do know that they're doing a phenomenal job on their YouTube channel. Just looking at it specifically as a content creator, oh, they're doing their thing.
Another poll showing Democrats losing ground with demographics that they typically had widespread support among. Now, a new poll by Gallup shows that Democrats are...
Hey, that's the main guy right there, Blacks for Trump. That's the leader right there. That's the leader of the Blacks for Trump.
Particularly losing support among Black and Hispanic adults. So let's get into the details. The Democratic Party's wide lead over Republicans in Black Americans' party preferences has shrunk by nearly 20 points over the past 3 years, in just 3 years.
Wow.
Although Democrats continue to hold a formidable advantage over Republicans among non-Hispanic Black adults in the United States, their current 47-point lead is the smallest Gallup has recorded in its polling.
Why is that? Hopefully they discuss this.
Dating back to 1999. Most of the decline has been recent, with the net Democratic ID for this group falling 19 points from a 66-point advantage in 2020. At that time, 77% of Black adults favored the Democrats and 11% the Republicans. So the 2023 findings represent an 11-point decrease in Democratic affiliation since 2020 and an 8-point increase in Republican affiliation. So obviously, Democrats still have a significant lead with Black voters compared to Republicans, but still we're seeing this trend continue where the voting demographic that Democrats can typically rely on, they're dwindling now, and some of them are unaffiliated. They're not really registering as Republicans. Others are registering as Republicans. Now, Democrats lead among Hispanic adults and adults ages 18 to 29.
We have been teaching people how to grow online. It's been absolutely amazing. We have 3 people who have been able to reach monetization in less than 30 days. Growing YouTube channels, some from 0 people. We have one guy who had 2 subscribers before he started working with me. He started helping him. His views went up 4.8 million%. We're super excited. If anybody ever want to grow on YouTube, you reach out to me with the word coach.
Have slid nearly as much as the Black vote, resulting in Democrats holding only a modest edge in both of those groups. So as Gallup...
Why though? Why? There's a reason why this is happening, guys. So don't sit anybody that's a fanboy or a fangirl of this current administration that want to give me all of the positives as to why Biden is so great. Kick rocks in your socks, because it's a lie. Look at the numbers. Numbers don't lie.
Gallup reports Democrats' 12-point advantage among Hispanic adults in 2023 represents a new low in trends dating back to 2011, when Gallup recorded Democrats having a 26-point advantage. In 2021, Democrats actually had a 31-point advantage among Hispanic voters. So this has been an ongoing trend, as I mentioned, Cenk. This is something that we've been, raising some alarm over. I have a lot of theories as to why this is taking place, but I'm curious what you think. What do you think is causing this?
Yeah, look, for what it's worth, I'm positive. They're not delivering for the average American. There, I solved it. It's so complicated. So mainstream media and the people in Washington view things through the lens of race and culture wars and demographics, etc. So they're like, okay, Black people and Latinos are ours, white people are yours, women are ours, men are yours, etc. Right? But the thing is, the American people are not cooperating with that. So, for example, the young voters were massively on the side of Democrats, not even close. That's why Biden won in 2020, and they've had a huge lead there, et cetera. Now they're beginning to lose them. Now, why are they losing them? Because Biden and the Democrats keep doing things that are very, very unpopular with young voters. The most recent one is the situation in Israel, where younger voters hate that we're spending more of our money, which we barely have, to send over to kill more innocent Palestinians. So if that fact bothers you, that's too bad for you.
I mean, is that the only thing? So he pointed that out. So he's talking about money that we don't even have. If we're gonna go down that rabbit hole, it's gonna get real nasty for the left. Are we really gonna go down that rabbit hole? Because we're spending a whole poop ton of money, a whole sugar honey iced tea hole type of money on many different countries. And even here, by just opening the border wide open and just giving everybody money. Here, you take this. Here's a card with $3,000. Here's a card. Here's a bag. Here's a bag with a care package. There you go. You got new drawers in there. You got pads. You got lollipops. You got everything. You got some Twinkies. You know, oatmeal cream pies. You got some Valentine's Day cards inside of these bags. Yes, absolutely. Y'all snuck all the way over here. We got to make sure that you feel like we're hospitable. We're going to be extremely hospitable to you illegal immigrants. Even if y'all are pulling up by the thousands at a time and y'all don't have any women or children with you and you all look like you're of military strength and military age, that don't seem fishy. So if I was on that side too, I'd be like, wait a minute. Something's wrong. Or as Keith Sweat, you say something, 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 something just ain't right, right. You got to say it like a lamb because when he sing, he sound like a lamb. Something, something just ain't right. You got to say right. Okay, never mind.
That is a fact. That is why they're leaving Democrats. And so now I've got more on blacks and Latinos.
I have to add to that point because I think it's an important point and there's a second half to it that I think is really, really important to focus on. The Democratic Party in general has increasingly abandoned the working class in America, which is why Republicans have actually increased their support among non-college educated working class Americans. And what Democrats have done in lieu of representing the best interest of working class Americans is they have instead pivoted to identitarianism, right? The culture wars, please support us because Republicans bad for minorities. We love minorities. We love black and brown people. We want to protect them. We believe in their dignity. Okay, it's really hard to buy that argument. That argument comes across as incredibly hollow as the United States continues to provide 2,000-pound bombs to the far-right government of Israel so they can then proceed to drop said bombs on Arab Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, okay? It's just, it rings hollow. It seems like nonsense, superficial campaign tactics that they don't actually believe and don't really do anything to show or prove that they care about.
I thought the Young Turks were, I thought they were off there, not very smart individual. I mean, listen, based off of the type of content I've been checking out, right? I'm finding that a lot of my supporters don't really like the Young Turks. But they seem pretty reasonable right now to me. I'm just listening to them and they sound really reasonable. I'm listening, they sound reasonable as hell to me. That's just me. Maybe because it's Valentine's Day, I don't know.
Yeah, so I think that that's totally right. But going along with that, in terms of things they don't believe, look, part of the blame goes towards Bernie Sanders. Wait, what? Why? Okay, let me explain. Because Bernie did a great job of convincing Joe Biden that he should run on progressive policies. Because progressive policies are very, very popular on the economic end, okay? So paid family leave, child tax credit, a higher minimum wage, you name it, very popular, right? So Biden ran on him, but Biden didn't tell Bernie something that's very important. He never meant it. So when he got into office, he delivered on almost none of those policies. So that is, you see over the last 3 years, every demographic in those in the numbers that Anna's reading you, And I think that what they saw was, hey, oh my God, look at this. This is amazing. We're gonna get all these things that we really, really like. Oh God, Joe Biden and the Democrats, we knew it. And then see, Trump is a bad guy and the Democrats are good guys. And the Democrats were like, just kidding. And they pulled the football again. No paid family, and they had child tax credit for a year and people loved it. It was one of the most popular programs in the country. And then Biden's like, no, in order to help Joe Manchin and the Republicans, I will now pull the child tax credit.
But the Democrats been doing that forever. So what am I missing here? Why are they surprised? Young Turks, middle-aged Turks, because y'all seem to be this gentleman seemed about my age. The young lady, she seemed to be young, so I guess that's why they can keep the young in their name. But yeah, why are you surprised, bro?
Moron, because now they had it for a year and they knew how good it was. And then when you take it away from them, it's much worse than if you never gave it to them. So he made all of these promises that he knew for sure he was never going to deliver on. And then all the people on TV turn around and they're like, no, it's okay that he didn't do voting rights and he didn't do any of the economic agenda. He did this bill and that bill that helps industries, that maybe helps Americans eventually. But anyway, we love him, so you guys should love him too. And you guys should be thrilled that he did 10% of his agenda. Well, that's nice propaganda, but people see their actual lives.
Not only that, I mean, look, I think people are really, because again, due to filter bubbles and repeated propaganda, which takes place on both sides, if you're not paying close attention to what's happening in cities like Chicago or New York City when it comes to the migrant crisis and how minority residents of those areas are reacting to it, you're making a huge mistake because they're furious.
They are pissed, is what she wants to say.
Okay, they are furious. So black and brown voters in Chicago, in New York, they see the crisis, it's at their doorstep, and they're like, I don't understand. This is based on federal policy. Why isn't Biden doing anything about it?
Well, Biden is doing exactly what they voted for. What am I missing? I'm sorry, maybe I'm wrong, because sometimes I get it wrong. I don't know a whole lot about politics, but in my little mind, I think they're getting exactly what they voted for, right? Because wasn't it the Democrats and everybody voting for the Democrats that was saying, no, let them over. Y'all are racist for trying to keep them on their side. Let them over. Everybody should be able to come to the land of milk and honey. Because apparently in biblical times, this will be the land of milk and honey. This is where everybody are taking their 40-year and 40-night trips, and they're just stumbling over into the US because this is where everything is going to be right for them. Like this is where their families are going to be good. And it's been happening that way. It's been happening that way. Like that's why all of us are, well, most of us, a great majority of us, well, I'll say all of us, and all of us are have migrated from somewhere. All of us have. So with that said, when we start doing it the proper way and we just fall in the system and we start like opening up businesses and hiring other people, paying them a fair wage, so forth and so on, paying our taxes, contributing to everything that this country needs to continue to move forward the way we have, that's how it's supposed to work. But the people in these blue states have been voting this way. And now they are dealing with what they voted for. So again, why are we surprised?
So when they see their quality of life decline, because suddenly there's a massive influx of people into their city, which they do not have the resources to house, to feed, to keep safe. And when they see the scraps that they're given now being shared with a large, migrant population that's come into their city, they start getting angry. Okay, it's not because they're bad people. Angel. It's not because they're racist. It's not because they're anti-immigrant.
It's because of what Angel just now put on the script, on the screen. It's because they now have buyer's remorse. That's what it is.
But you tell me, if 170,000 people in a few months show up to your front door and suddenly you're seeing encampments all over the place and it seems like chaos outside your front door, how are you gonna feel about it?
Yeah,
that's what's happening.
And I'm going to combine two of the things that we've been talking about here, because you see, this is a perfect storm. The numbers are not moving a little; they're moving a lot, and they're moving super quick. Normally, numbers take decades to move like this. So there's also the issue of crime, and where did crime hit most? It actually hit Black and Latino communities the most. Because it was mainly in cities and mainly in working class areas. So as Blacks and Latinos heard, mainly, if we're being honest, mainly white, older, richer Democrats telling them that they're imagining it and that they were helping Black people and Latino people by letting criminals go. That's double the anger.
You got 4 illegal immigrants beating a police ass, kicking them in the head and everything. They get locked up and then immediately are released. And then they find them in another state and arrest them like, yeah, we got them. It's too late now. Y'all have made your bed, man. Y'all have set the standard. Like, they know what's happening, bro. They not fooled. They already know they can do whatever they want to do. But that's what's happening, bro. And shout out to the Young Turks for pointing this out, man. Y'all told me that the Young Turks was not good people. They sound like they good people to me, bro. They sound like they're good people to me.
So you're telling me I'm making this stuff up when I got crime all around me? And then you're saying you're doing it to protect me because I'm Black? How is this protecting me? Because, and by the way, look at the assumption there. Let's be honest, that the underlying assumption that people that talk in that way have, which is one that is racist. So if you're Black, you should like us letting criminals off. Are you nuts? That is not a thing that Black people want in this country.
At all.
Because for like privileged elite people in DC, they view people in certain categories. But that's nonsense. A Black person knows that they don't want other Black criminals being let off for no reason. They don't want to be harassed. They don't want to be beat up by cops. They don't want to be the victim of injustice. They don't want to be arrested for the same things that white people are not arrested for. But do they want criminals locked up? Of course.
Hold on, but we also don't want to be victimized by any damn body. Like, we don't want to be beat up by cops. Okay, that too. We don't want to be arrested for things that white people aren't arrested for. Okay, that too. But we also don't want to be victimized by one another. I'm just saying, bro. I'm just saying, man. Not saying that a white dude ain't gonna pull up on me and be like, man, give me your shoes. Give me that wallet, bro. Give me them keys. Man, run it. Let's go. All right, turn around, man. Don't you turn around, you look at me, it's over. That happens from my own people, from Black people to be Pacific. Don't play with me, man. And you sound real trained. Like the Young Turks, they sound real trained when it comes to Black people don't want this and Black people don't want that and no, we don't. But we also don't want to be victimized by other Black people at all, You know what I mean? That's just keeping it a buck.
Criminals are in their neighborhoods in Chicago and other places. And so as they yell for help, when the Democrats say not only is help not coming, but we don't even think that it's a real problem and we're doing it to help you, it's infuriating. And so that's why the numbers are moving so much so quickly.
Yeah, look, the Democratic Party is in trouble. They've been in trouble, and their fear tactics in regard to the right wing has worked for them to some extent so far. I don't know how it's going to play out for them in the general election.
They sound really reasonable. I'm sorry, what am I missing? I thought the Young Turks was like a left-wing content creating group that hated everything conservative. That's what I thought. What am I missing?
But if they think vote shaming, pressuring, and fear mongering is gonna be like their only tactics and they're gonna win every time by using those tactics, I think they're mistaken. They need to provide something that people are gonna wanna vote in favor of, and we haven't been seeing that from Democrats. I mean, think about the last general election, Cenk, 2020. Why did people vote for Biden in 2020? You think people were excited about Biden in 2020? No, everyone held their noses and were like, okay, we just really don't want another 4 years of this Trump guy.
Nah, see, that's the part right there. Y'all was ridiculous for that. That's the thing that we actually did. Myself as well, myself included. I was one of those that was like, oh, I'm going to just vote for the lesser of two evils. I'm just voting for the less of two evils. That's it. That's it. I'm just, man, they saying all this bad stuff about Trump, man. I don't want to be the only person that's voting for him. They, MSNBC, CNN, anybody else that's connected by their pocketbook strings on sports channels and anybody, comedians, everybody, were getting all of their news, fake news from MSNBC and CNN saying all this bad stuff about Trump. So if you voted for Trump, then you was an outlier, and I was one of those idiots thinking that that was the right thing to do. And because of that, now we're dealing with this. So I'm partially to blame for the last 3.5 years. So my apologies to America.
Okay, he bungled the response to we don't want this chaos anymore. We want some stability. So let's vote for the geriatric guy who's too old to run for president, but he promised he wasn't gonna run for re-election. But that was a lie, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I gotta add last two quick things. So one is the Democrats constantly telling minority voters that they have to vote for them is grating on everyone's nerves.
I can't take it anymore.
But Washington doesn't get it. So as black people and Latinos keep hearing over and over again, you have to vote for Joe Biden. It's getting under their skin, and I can tell you from my ethnicity, I'm Muslim American, and I've talked to now hundreds of Muslims across the country, if not thousands. And every time the Democrats say, you have to vote for Joe Biden, as Joe Biden is perpetuating genocide of the Palestinians in Gaza, every one of them thinks, well, let's find out. F around and find out and see if I have to vote for Joe Biden and have to vote for Democrats. And that's what a lot of people are thinking, because you're not helping us. All you're doing is saying, we have to help you, but you never deliver, you never deliver. And this is the chickens coming home to roost for the corporate Democrats. The corporate Democrats have been tricking you for the last 40, 50 years, pretending they're gonna do something for you, and they give you the crumbs off their table that the corporate donors allowed for. And then they think, oh, it's never gonna catch up. We're gonna have Joe Scarborough, mainstream media, and New York Times make up nonsense propaganda and marketing for us, and we'll just trick everybody into voting for our corporate agenda. Well, it's not working anymore. And that's why people feel so hopeless, because it's not like the Republicans are the answer, they're the original corporate party. So now we're stuck between two awful choices. And the American people are vomiting this out.
Well, shout out to the Young Turks for that video. And I plan on checking out more because of that video. But guys, I really appreciate y'all playing along. I appreciate y'all spending time with me. All of my mods, thank you so much for being a part of what we were doing. I really appreciate it. And again, I want to say this. For everyone who went and purchased the Ass Backwards Way to Move Forward, that's the very first link inside of my descriptions. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. You get mounds of information. You're gonna get probably great wealth from just reading this right here. I know it's a great book. You can finish this in a weekend, okay? Also, guys, I wanna say to everyone who want to grow on YouTube, reach out to me with the word coach. As you can see, this information that's scrolling through the bottom right here. Boom, 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 boom. Hit me up. Listen, we rocking and rolling, man. So if you want to learn how to do YouTube-y stuff, then reach out to me with the word coach, and we will get you going. All right? Love y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day.